What makes a good Pokemon design? The answer is a variety of reasons. Some may say it's all in the rendering. Some might say it's the proportions, and others might say it's just the concept that matters most. The answer, at least from my limited knowledge, is a good mixture of all those previously mentioned ideas. A good Pokemon design, in my opinion, has a strong concept, and as you'll see, I had a little trouble executing mine. But in my opinion, I think it turned out pretty well in the end. Aside from the strong concepts, the visuals also matter, because not only does your Pokemon need an idea behind it, it also needs to look like a Pokemon. This is where the previously mentioned ideas of rendering and proportions come in. Without rendering the Pokemon well, it can look like, well, not a Pokemon. And without the exaggerating and monster-like proportions you're left with, well, it can look like just an animal with elements attached to it. Now, okay, let's explore the Pokemon design process together as I show you how I conceptualized, drew, and rendered my very own Pokemon. Along with these, it's going to be a mixture of my notes with the process I did, along with things I learned from Umbreon Libris and Dark and Windy. Alright, let's go. Concept is probably the most important part of the Pokemon design process. A good concept and execution is bound to get you a Pokemon design that is well as any other type of drawing. However, let me note, as you can probably tell, I am not a professional by any means, so take these notes as you will. Getting back on track, let's dissect the concept with my design here. For my Pokemon, I decided on a design based on the Bubble Lizard, otherwise known as a Null Lizard. Although it's only some of these lizards that gained an ability to breathe underwater, and how they do it is with a cute little bubble. I still can't get over it, it's really nice. So from that, I experimented with it, and decided on a shy lizard who needs a bubble to breathe. I went through many concepts, such as ones based off a different reference, like a more playful and confident lizard, and some designs that looked a bit like other animals. But in the end, I'm glad I chose the thing I did, as it has a lot of potential in my opinion. Although, the shy feeling the Pokemon gave me became lost as I was rendering the drawing, which is why it's important to make a pose and sketch more defining, as once you go through the drawing process, the original idea and intent behind the sketch may get lost as you render the drawing. Another fact about the concept is that it has reached through the drawing itself. As previously mentioned, a key pose and a color pattern can help indicate things from your drawing. For example, if you saw a pouting lizard that has a powerful stance in bright red colors, what would you think about it compared to a lizard that's cowering and colored in dark purples and blues? Quite the contrast, I'm assuming. Alright, moving on. Another big thing that makes a Pokemon look like a Pokemon, as mentioned before, is colors and how you render it. Although it doesn't exactly need to be rendered in a perfect way to be called a Pokemon, you can render it however you want. But if you want to make it look somewhat official looking, here are some things to keep in mind. For starters, you can pay attention to the colors more. If you look at official pre-existing Pokemon artwork, you can see that the artists rarely use highly saturated colors, and this relates to art style, and just in art in general, as a less saturated painting or a drawing is easier to look at. That's what I did for this Pokemon. I chose more saturated blues and oranges to fit the palette, and variations within the saturation are always good to look out for as well. Light and dark color patterns as a healthy balance is always best. Another thing to look out for is shading and highlights. The information I'm going to share here was taught to me by Umbreon Libris' channel, which features an amazing Pokemon artist, Dark and Windy, in one of the videos I watched from him. What I learned from them is that the Pokemon were first drawn on paper by Ken Sugimori, so the outlines are jagged and tapered, and the shading, the main point, varies from generations. For example, Gen 3 uses a more blended shading style, while Gen 4 and beyond tends to use a bridge method, says artist Dark and Windy, where the shading has a lighter color between it and the pure drawing. The channel and him also say the highlights are kind of like watercolors. And I took that as more of a tapered, swatchy color highlights. That's what I applied to the drawing. And the highlights mixed with the colors started looking like subjectively Jack's Pokemon art, which is more art I admire along with his other work, so that was a good sign. Either way, I tried out these suggested methods, and I think it came out pretty well and official. However, I am planning on coming back to this when I'm older and redrawing it, as it could need another pass, since it's fun to see how we improve. Either way, I hope you enjoyed my little notes on making Pokemon artwork, and this is a relatively short video, I know, and my process for drawing this Pokemon, as I plan on making more. So tell me in the comments, if YouTube decides to leave them on this time, if you'd like to see more. Anyways, I'd like to give a huge thanks to Umbreon Libris and Dark and Windy for their advice and teaching, as it really helped me bring this idea of a Pokemon that I had in my head to a somewhat official-looking fruition. Other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, or evening. Until next time and beyond, keep drawing.